The presentation of the book titled In the Belly of the Vultures by Chief Tola Adeniyi, a veteran journalist and columnist in several national and international newspapers, was held on Thursday, the 1st of March 2018 at Necker House, Central Business District, Alausa Ikeja, Lagos. The author, Chief Tola Adeniyi, was born on the 29th of May 1945. At the age of 10, he already had the entire chapters of the Holy Quran crammed, winning 2 double promotions in his primary school and another double promotion in his secondary school, and this marked him out in his youth days. At age 14, Chief Tola Adeniyi was already an established author, a reputable Yoruba poet on Radio Nigeria at the age of 16, and at 20 he became the first person to adapt Chinua Achebe's all-time classic Things Fall Apart for stage and television, a play he produced and directed. Chief Tola Adeniyi has become a star writer in journalism since his secondary school days, and this prepared him for a very brilliant and extremely creative career at the University of Ibadan, where he founded the Writers' Club in 1966. Chief Tola Adeniyi maintained columns in Uche Chukwumereje's Afriscope, Tunji Osene's Sunday Sketch, and contributed regularly to Sam Amuka's Sunday Times before joining the Daily Times conglomerate. In 1973, Chief Tola Adeniyi was appointed West Regional Editor of the Daily Times as a chief correspondent. He conducted several interviews and did a lot of investigative reporting. Despite his busy schedule, he was able to contribute several articles to different newspapers and was credited with 15 columns a week in Daily Times Group, a feat that has not yet been equaled by any other writer in the history of journalism in the world today. Chief Tola Adeniyi has written and published many biographies in addition to hundreds of speeches made at local and international audiences. He held senior positions in Lancashire Evening Post, Burnley's Express, both in the United Kingdom, and the Atlanta Enquirer in the United States. Chief Tola Adeniyi was a 2-term chairman of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations. He was a federal commissioner with the National Population Commission. Chief Tola Adeniyi is a member of the Writers' Union of Canada, a ranking member of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, NUJ, fellow Commonwealth Journalists Association. This rare brand and cultural impresario is also a proud fellow of the Nigerian Guild of Editors. All hail an icon, a role model, an inspirer, a mentor, a great brand, Chief Tola Adeniyi. Prominent among dignitaries that honored Chief Tola Adeniyi at the presentation of his book In the Belly of the Vultures in Lagos were former military president General Ibrahim Babangida, represented by retired General Tajuddin Olanrewaju, former Vice President of Nigeria Alhaji Atiku Abubakar GCON, who was the chairman of the event, was ably represented by Professor Maxwell Gidado. Also in attendance were former governors of Ogun State, Aremo Olusegun Oshoba, Otumagbenga Daniel, former governor of Ondo State, Dr. Olusegun Mimiko, former governor of Ekiti State, Otumani Adebayo, former deputy governor of Lagos State, Alhaja Senator Aderoju Ojukutu, former deputy governors of Ogun State, Senator Adegbenga Kaka, and Alhaja Salmat Makonjola Badru, Senator Mamora, Chairman CEO Biskin Communications, Prince Bisi Olatilo, Chief Ayo Adebanjo, human rights activist Mr. Yinka Odumaki, President, Sports Writers Association of Nigeria, Michelle Obi, founder of Vanguard Newspapers, Mr. Sam Amuka, veteran broadcaster, Sonny Irabo, senior pastor, lecturer in assembly, Pastor Tunde Bakare and his wife, Mr. Mohammed Fawemi, son of the late Gani Fawemi, was among other distinguished men and women who honored Chief Tola Adeniyi. The event started with the opening prayer delivered by Pastor Tunde Bakare. This is followed by remarks by the chairman of the planning committee of the book presentation, Mr. Akini Shomi.
He has been able to punch more than 13,000 insightful articles in various publications around the world. Tola Adeniyi has seamlessly transitioned in his penmanship from the Olivetti typewriter. I am sure our father, Sat Sam, is already smiling, through the analog mill, and now he is in the digital age. I confirm that Akogun is read more now by the youths than by elders. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I stand representing the planning committee on behalf of the author and his wife to welcome you to this groundbreaking occasion. We are honored and privileged to have you here today, and we say welcome, welcome, and welcome.
In the remarks of the chairman of the occasion, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar GCON, who was ably represented by Professor Maxwell Gidado, he apologized for being absent due to circumstances beyond his control. He then gave a goodwill message.
Remarks by the chairman Atiku Abubakar GCON, former Vice President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, at the launch of Tola Adeniyi's book, Belly of the Vultures. I now read, I welcome you all to this launch of a very important book by one of our most distinguished media men, administrators, and political strategists. The great thing about being chairman of an event such as this is that you need not say anything other than, quote, welcome, let's begin, unquote, and to declare it closed at the end. It will be more difficult to persuade people to your point of view or to negotiate with them when you call them names and imply that they like the country less than you. I commend the author, Chief Tola Adeniyi, in whose honor we have gathered today, for his efforts in putting this book together. Much of it, his newspaper articles. He is one of those writers who know how to communicate in simple language with great wisdom, wit, humor, and fun. I am sure that the book, which reads like a current history of our country and our world, will generate more discussions and add to our repertoire of facts, debates, and opinions on our nation-building processes. Thank you very much for your attention. Waziri Adamawa.
Following immediately after were goodwill messages from different people who spoke very highly of Chief Adetola Adeniyi, particularly his scholarly exploits with the presentation of the book.
The respect and love we have for Tola, and when you see the star-studded attendance here today, then it shows you the respect that people have for Tola Adeniyi all over Nigeria. Sam Amuka has a way of, cynical. One day I did something very profound. At the height of the ceremony, he called me and said, Shegun, go and die. I said, why? He said, you can't have it better. I should go and die because even if I die, I will have better attendance than I had. You see, that is to tell you that this man never wished me well. That was as far back as 1988, but I'm still standing. So I'm happy for Tola for taking the advice then to expose his talent and his wisdom. And today we are the beneficial owners of that talent that God gave to him.
So I'm too eager to see this book, to hear it reviewed, and also to be guided on how to get through it. And then I do hope also that the benefit that we really want to transfer to the generality of our people from this book will reach nooks and corners of Nigeria and the world at large. So I thank you for the effort. Not many of us can make it, and I wish you very well. I also know that I don't know how big the volumes are going to be, but already indicated there are 2 more or so coming very soon. If we have life, we'll all be here to welcome you. So thank you very much.
In spite of the despairs of this country, what we are going on now,
like many of us, I would admit that, look, Nigeria is still a great place to be. You want to just go abroad. And even though this is a shithole country, but there's a lot to be said for it. And I will end up by saying one of the favorite songs I have heard from these Nigerians is Ghetto Layewa. Tola, keep it up. We're all behind you and we're watching. Congratulations.
The man of the moment, Chief Adetola Adeniyi, in his own remarks, appreciated God for making the day a reality. He went ahead to thank all those who have contributed and impacted positively in his life from the cradle to date. He ended his remark on a musical note.
What I want to do today is to pay tribute to those who guided me to where I am today. And it's not a thank you for those who are here. It's a thank you for most of them who are already gone into the continuum. And I'm going to ask you to imbibe this culture according to my faith, which is my raising, that you thank those who have impacted on your life. I do it every morning. I mention about at least 50 to 60 names every day in my prayers. And it has worked. Because as I thank God, I also thank those God sent to me.
Renowned dramatist, television presenter, director, and filmmaker, Yemi Shodimu took over. He entertained and engaged the audience in a musical poem presentation. This thrilled the guests all through. In reviewing the book, Professor Ademola Kpokpola, the Dean Faculty of Law, Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, gave a detailed background information on the life of the author. Professor Ademola Kpokpola said that the book talks about various challenges facing Nigeria as a nation, particularly since its return to democracy 18 years ago. The pains and groans of the masses as a result of the bad governance of our leaders, which has left the citizenry poorer. Professor Ademola Kpokpola further recommended the book to everyone with a keen interest in public affairs. He says it will become a useful tool.
Now, even though the book about to be presented is not an autobiography, it is entirely appropriate that this review should commence with some biographical reflections, if only for the insights they may yield concerning the life and incredible professional exploits of the author, Akogun Adetola Adeniyi Dijagun Odua Ademola II. Mr. Chairman, distinguished audience, a people without heroes cannot be a civilized people. Now, the available evidence, including the tribute by Abiodun Akomolafe, rendered in flawless prose on pages 13 to 16 of the book, the author's profile in brief on pages 1165 to 1166, and other information gleaned from disparate sources by the present reviewer about this accomplished Nigerian and great patriot whose tribe is regrettably fast disappearing from our national landscape that is now sadly but inexorably and vigorously assailed by a litany of woes ranging from crass opportunism to unabashed mendacity, and other manifestations of infamy are quite revealing about a man who from all accounts does not seek praises. Now they confirm in bold review that Akogun Tola Adeniyi has indeed vividly packed into over 7 decades of purposeful existence a great miscellany of attributes which distinguish him as a consummate journalist of immense national and international stature, an essayist of uncommon breadth and depth of vision, a media administrator of incredible ardor, a literary scholar of quiet yet profound erudition.
The book presentation was conducted by retired General Tajuddin Olanrewaju, who represented General Ibrahim Babangida. He gave a remark before launching the book.
It is to the understanding of the general that Tola has a world-class reputation, given his long-time background, training, experience, and exposure in the media network. There is no doubt that the country, Nigeria, needs a journalist of his stature. This country has a great number of great columnists across its lengths and breadths. But Tola stands to be counted among the best of them. It is therefore too easy to identify the creativity in Tola, making him what he is today. For the younger generation of journalists who want to stand out like him, they must have a sense of commitment and service. In his relationship with Tola, His Excellency General Babangida has long respected him as a teacher, a writer, and resourceful journalist, from whose attributes oncoming journalists have a lot to learn in handling and reporting national issues. It is my pleasure to present this wonderful book written by Akogun Tola Adeniyi to the distinguished guests and to the public, to the country, to the glory of his family and to this country. May God bless you, and I wish you long life and prosperity through it. Thank you very much. All right.
After which other dignitaries took turns to donate generously. The cutting of the special cake designed in form of the book was coordinated by Dr. Olusegun Mimiko, former governor of Ondo State.
We call this cake, what is left for our nation? Hope. Okay. I spell hope. Then we cut H-O-P-E. Hope.
The vote of thanks by Chief Mrs. Olubunmi Adeniyi, wife of the author, brought the event to a close. From Biscon Communications, its hearty congratulations to Chief Adetola Adeniyi on this scholarly exploit.